Aileen wuornus was born on February 29, 1956 in Rochester, Michigan. Aileen had an older brother named Keith Allen who was born on March 15, 1955. They never met their father, Leo Dale Pittman, because he was in prison for rape and attempted murder of a 7-year-old. When Aileen was 4 years old, her mother, Diane wuornus, abandoned her and her brother, and their grandparents had to adopt the both of them. When Aileen was 10, her and her brother Keith began to have a sexual relationship. Aileen then started having sex with boys for money and cigarettes at 11. At 14, Aileen was raped and got pregnant. She gave birth in March 1971, but her baby was given up to adoption without her consent. This made her upset and she ran away from home. She was caught and sent to a juvenile home. A few months later her grandmother died, and her grandfather kicked her and her brother out the house. Aileen lived on the road and became a prostitute at 16. On May 27, 1974, Aileen was arrested for disorderly conduct, DUI, and wanted for grand larceny. She was later charged with failure to appear. Aileen married 70-year-old Louis Phil for his money so she can stay off the road. They meet when Louis picked her up while hitchhiking. On July 14, 1976, Aileen was arrested and charged with assault and throwing a cue ball at a bartender's head. On May 20, 1981, wuornus was arrested for the armed robbery of a convenience store. She stole $35 and 2 packs of cigarettes. She was sentenced to prison on May 4, 1982 and released June 30, 1983. On January 4, 1986, wuornus was arrested in Miami and charged with grand theft auto, resisting arrest, and obstruction of justice for providing identification with her aunt's name. Around 1986, Aileen began dating Daria Moore. They moved in together, and to financially support themselves, Aileen worked as a prostitute while Daria worked as a motel cleaner. On November 30, 1989, Aileen was picked up by Richard Mallory and they parked the car in the woods. They talked until dawn, then Aileen shot him 4 times in the chest and in the back with a .22 caliber handgun. Aileen stole all the money he had and covered his body with carpet. She told Daria what happened and they stole Mallory's car and moved to a new house. Mallory's car was dumped in the woods and the police found it the next day. 2 weeks later, Mallory's body was found. After 6 months, Aileen robbed and killed 3 more people. In 1990, Aileen and Daria got in an accident with a car that was stolen from her 4th victim. Before police arrived, Aileen threw the license plate of the car into the woods. In the next 5 months, Aileen killed 3 more people. They were all killed with the same 22mm caliber handgun. The police put out a sketch of the 2 women, then Daria left Aileen and moved to Pennsylvania to live with her sister. The police discovered pawn shop items that Aileen stole from her victims and got her thumbprint from a pawn shop ticket. On January 9, 1991, Aileen wuornus was arrested. Daria was tracked down and arrested. She confessed to knowing about 1 murder. Prosecutors decided not to charge her in exchange for her writing a letter to Aileen saying to call her and talk about the murders. On January 16, 1991, Aileen confessed to the killings to protect Daria. Aileen was charged on 6 counts of murders. On January 15, 1992, Aileen's trial began for Richard Mallory. Daria Moore testified against Aileen in court. Aileen claimed that Richard tried to rape her and she shot him in self-defense. On January 27, Aileen was found guilty on first-degree premeditated murder and first-degree felony murder. Defense attorneys said that she had borderline personality disorder, so her life should be spared. On January 30, 1992 at 36, Aileen wuornus was sentenced to death. Aileen pleaded no contest to 3 other counts of murder and entered guilty pleas for the other 2. In July 2001, she asked the state to stop with the appeals. On April 1, 2002, Aileen's execution was scheduled for October 9, 2002 by lethal injection at 46. Before she died, she used the rest of her time to get right with Jesus. Her final words was, "I'll be back like Independence Day with Jesus, June 6 like the movie Big Mothership and all, I'll be back." After the execution, Aileen was cremated and Dawn took her ash to Michigan. Dawn planted a tree and put her ashes on a tree.